2017 was the last one.
Is it because like not good reception?
No, I think too many OD.
With so many hardstyle collectives, not only in Singapore but also in the world, what is the way they can do to stand out?
Honestly, the sound guys could have easily cut his mic, but
this fucking festival didn't pay me any fucking money to be here tonight.
Yeah, but do you see the Saga reply or not?
they said it was fine. It was fine for Will Sparks, right?
Oh my god! So the passive aggressive is over 9,000, yeah. I think I have barely seen you or spoken to you when you were in Singapore, but then you really moved to Australia already. But I know the people around you though, like Joru and everybody. Yeah. So the move to Australia, man, what was like the whole entire purpose? You like chasing the music there or something?
No, it was mainly for uni actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
you just completed?
Yeah, that's why I just came back, and of course the hardstyle scene is very good. So my name just went up a lot faster there than if I was here.
Yeah, I still remember back in the day when I was in NTU, man. I thought like going to uni was actually about studying, but goddamn, I was wrong. Now on hindsight, I don't know about you but I feel like going to uni, right, it's more about like building connections and all that kind of thing. Will you say
it is?
Right.
I feel like the connections are very important. So
yeah, like let's just say even if you're an engineering person, right, you can only climb so high as being an engineer. Then beyond that, you'll be like managerial role already. Then end up it's also about PR, whatever.
Yeah, you don't even use what you learn anymore.
Yeah, walao eh, don't even, oh my god, don't even remind me, man. I still remember like all the theories that I learned for like this like electrical cabling course, and then when I go down there, then the person, hey 小弟这没有用的 what the fuck, waste my time. Yeah, so have you known since the beginning that you want to pursue hardstyle?
Not since the beginning.
Were you like some hip hop R&B guy before?
No, actually, I was always the dance music side. So I started with Big Room. And I also started producing like the EDM Big Room first before moving to hardstyle in 2017. That's when I moved.
So you started as a producer before you were a DJ?
Both lah. I taught myself DJ when I was 14, and then I actually took music in school, so that's why I learned sort of like composing, but it was more classical composing. Then it became like Big Room, because that's what I wanted to DJ last time, like Hardwell, Martin Garrix.
Right.
Yeah. And then when I went to Australia the first time, then I kind of switched to hardstyle, and then stayed there all the way.
Right. When it comes to like composing music, right, do you realize that when you produce something more melodic, it tends to be less hard as compared to something more monotonous? You can like push the hardness envelope.
For sure, but I think now like the newer hardstyle sound, especially, like you can still have a nice melody with, and then you can just somehow like they just change it and it's just as hard.
They flip to some raw style drop.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like
some Zatox. Yeah. Always like it shocks me lah. And then when you go to Australia, right, what's the difference between Australia and Singapore? Would you say like the people is like more open-minded or?
Yeah, definitely the people are more open-minded, and even if we are just saying about music scene-wise, everybody there's like they give more chance to newer DJs and they're more open to it.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised because who was I talking to? And then we were talking about gatekeeping. Oh yeah, there's this guy that recently joined our group chat, and then we were just talking about like gatekeeping. Like Asian countries tend to more gatekeep, Western a little bit more open for exploration, right? So in what sense, what did they do? Like what particular behavior that they display to show like they are not really gatekeeping as compared to like or your typical Southeast Asian country?
Because the guys that I play for mainly No Sleep Entertainment, they always seem to give like new DJs a chance, especially now that like in the recent shows they've had, all the opening DJs and the first two DJs, they usually give one of the new guys to play so they can get their exposure. And then they also have I think last year they did like a DJ competition because they do want to give people a chance. So, and then I think the winner of that got to play the festival that I played at Asteria. Like they gave them one slot there. They said,
what's Asteria?
It's the No Sleeps outdoor festival.
Oh yeah, I saw the Instagram. It's like quite huge, man. Like
4,000.
5,000? Yeah. It feels like the Zook Out the underground stage.
Yeah.
Wow, it's huge, man.
It was nice to play because I played main stage. So then and then we were the anthem makers also for that festival.
Okay, wow. So this Asteria is the festival of the collective that you are in.
Yeah, I think they're more like an event group, not so much a collective, and we're all like on their roster. Yeah.
And what is Synergy?
Synergy is formed by myself, Lance, as you know, and Overdrive. And then we do live act, so we actually have live musicians playing.
Yeah.
So for Asteria, we had 1 pianist and 2 violinists playing on stage with us. Yeah, so we usually write songs that feels more cinematic and epic. Sometimes I think for now we've mainly like remixed songs into a different vibe.
So Synergy is more like collective lah.
No, it's just a live act, so to say.
Oh, a live, so it's like 7 people is
there's like
Swedish
6
House
of us on
Mafia.
stage. Yeah.
Right.
Like behind the decks. Well, to be honest, they don't really care about us behind the decks because they are more interested in like the musicians in front because it's something you don't always see. Yeah.
And then like when you earlier before the podcast you were saying that in the opening hours it's already like 3/4 full already. You know, people come super early to support, right?
Yeah.
Then it kind of makes sense when you give people opening slot, you know. But in Singapore you give someone opening slot, right? They think like you're just like wasting their time. Yeah.
Even my first show in Melbourne for No Sleep, I was supporting Enderex. I was opening. At that time nobody knew who I was, but I think halfway through my set there was at least 200 people inside the venue already.
What's the start and end time of like a typical club night for Australia?
I mean, because No Sleep doesn't really do like in a club setting, so to say, so they get venues to do it, and they usually start 8 or 9 p.m. But they only finish at 1 or 2. They don't finish at 4 like
Perfect.
clubs,
I love it. It's
Yeah.
like Vegas like that. And early, then you kind of like encourage people to come clubbing, all right?
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
tomorrow you won't be too tired for work.
Exactly.
etc.
And then because sometimes they also have they do like day raves on a Saturday, so it starts at 2 and it finishes at 9. You can go home and sleep after that.
You are actually slowly gonna see more of these kind of things in Singapore already, like day rave kind of thing, 5 to 10 p.m. All this kind of collective.
I think it's good though.
Yeah, but it's kind of more like the chill music kind of thing lah. I don't know, for a hardstyle lover like yourself, would you like to wake up early in the morning with like distorted kicks?
Yeah, we don't mind.
So I don't know. So maybe it can work, right? But like more of like the kind of like high intensity absolute cycle type thing.
I mean, you can always start with like slightly, well, so to say, more chill hardstyle, and then you can like closer to the end. Obviously, you have your headliners and whatever, and then you can just full send at the end.
Yeah. And would you say that it is easier to make a living as a DJ in Australia? Because, like for example, right, DJing rates in Singapore is like $100 per hour typically lah. 30 years ago and now.
For like guest DJ, or you think like residents?
Like local acts lah.
It's about the same. I also own
It's about the same, right?
Yeah. But the thing is, I feel there's a lot more. Yeah, there's more opportunities, and your music, especially if you produce and being in a place like that, is very good for you because not only do you get the opportunity to play, and also it's like a crowd that really likes your like hardstyle, so to say. It may not even be your music, but you can in a way introduce it to them without being so scared. Because like I could play a lot of like originals that are like not even remixes, and people still react like, you know, it's a famous hardstyle song. Because maybe that's how you know like you did
fans,
well.
Man.
No, it's like they don't know your song, but it's like you know they appreciate it when they react a certain way.
Right. I mean, they are like connoisseurs of the hardstyle music lah. So if it's nice, right, they don't care if it's famous or not.
Yeah,
they just react how they are.
Like they hear that kick and then like
Right. So now you're back in Singapore for good, right? What are like the potential like challenges that you think you will face?
Definitely gonna be playing a lot less because firstly I also don't know that many people here, and obviously the opportunities are a lot less.
Yeah, right.
Even the clubs don't give opportunities clearly, and so I mean, for me it's just a lot of producing now and trying to get more signed. I mean, I still have like kind of the doors in Australia, so like I have my friends I can like send my songs to, and then they can play and kind of like test it for me so I can see it there.
Right.
So yeah, that's the only way
maybe you can still go back there like quarterly.
Oh, yeah,
like,
for sure.
You know,
Mm.
yeah. But then the thing is, if you're like focusing on hard dance, right, other than like hosting your own events at venues like Iki, right, other than that, it's gonna be live house or something already. That
Yeah.
is like more accepting lah.
Yeah.
Are you willing to go that kind of path?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah.
But why though? Because like I'm like for me, right, it's like, okay, let's just say we are house DJ. Obviously we will never go there because like branding mismatch.
Yeah.
But then it's also they are hard dance, but you're also hard dance. But how is it like?
I feel it's different in a way. Like the way they perceive their hard dance is different to what I play and what, let's say, the Dutch and the Australians like. Like if I were to go there and play whatever I play back in Melbourne, nobody will stay.
Wait, again, sorry.
Like nobody will stay if I were to play like whatever I played back in Australia.
Oh,
Yeah.
in Singapore.
Yeah, in Singapore. Even if I were to go to these like the more hard dance places.
Yeah, I was talking to this guy that I think he's like the founder of KLWP or something. He's telling me, right, so now, right, the most open-minded country that you can gain opportunities from is from China lah. And I'm like quite shocked lah. Like, wow. And it's like in China, right, they actually play proper hard techno, right? And they don't really play those kind of like Manyao Chinese remixes. You actually only see Singaporean or Taiwanese to adopt that style. So I'm actually quite surprised as well that, you know, even China, which is a predominantly China country, they don't adopt that kind of style. Yeah. So I guess, would you kind of call that a more international sounding kind of...
Maybe they're trying to open up to more sounds, which is good.
Yeah.
I do think that's a very good like step to take.
Yeah.
And also that will also mean more DJs will want to go there. Because sometimes I know if a certain club or country hasn't booked like that kind of sound before, the DJ is always a bit scared to go there because you don't know like how they're gonna react. Is there even gonna be anyone there?
Yeah, correct. Yeah. Even like John Summit came to Singapore, so he was like at first playing house music, you know, and the reaction was like a bit like mid, right? Wow, then start to big room techno. I was like shocked. I'm like, what? Yeah, so I guess like adaptability, like you really need to know every country, which is like super hard for international DJs. Yeah,
especially if they want to come and play their own stuff.
Wow, damn hard lah. I think you need to be famous enough to indulge lah. Yeah, right. It's like the honor given to artist that's big enough lah. Yeah. And I don't know if you know about the recent like Hardwell saga with Saga.
I saw.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Do you think like Hardwell is like dumb enough to actually do that?
I don't think so. I don't know, from what I've seen, like he's a very nice guy, and for him to turn out like that, I think it's something.
I don't know, man. To me, it's like, you know, I'm so deep in the hip hop thing, right? I just felt like it is like probably orchestrated or something. Yeah.
I don't know.
And then after that, James Hype did a diss, right? He sampled his voice and then, you know, did a routine. So dude, can you imagine this beef build? Then 3 months later, they go to Tomorrowland and say that, hey guys, we're actually having a reunion tour. Wow, earn back all the money. Then all those idiots in the comment section, you know. Yeah, probably, you know.
I don't know.
Yeah, and Hardwell releasing song next week. I expect it to do very well also. Yeah.
His songs always do well.
Yeah, so how far will you go, man, to promote your song, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Right.
Yeah. Got a lot of traction just from the
even everywhere. Like, you look at the Kendrick Lamar and Drake thing, right? In that 1 week, Kendrick Lamar got more monthly listens, right, than Taylor Swift's, like takeovers, So I don't know, man.
That's a big one to reach or something. Yeah,
precisely. So you really need to sacrifice a lot in order to like get there. Sometimes it's like do extra hard work. Sometimes you might need to sacrifice your dignity. You know, I guess entertainment industry is a little bit iffy also.
But for Hardwell, I don't think that was staged though.
Yeah.
I feel to a certain extent, because I saw people saying that, like it's probably not staged because, and then maybe the pay thing is real because the sound guys could have easily cut his mic, but they never cut his mic.
Yeah, but do you see the Saga reply or not?
Yeah. So they said it was fine. It was fine for Will Sparks right now.
Oh my god! So the passive aggressive is over 9,000. Wow, I died, man. Yeah. Fuck, this is crazy, dude. Fucking anybody know more about that, right? Just like blow up our comment section, okay? Fuck, we need more engagement. So, anyways, talking about this collective synergy that you all have lah. So it's basically an act lah of 7
It is a
people.
live act, yes.
But now that you are no longer in Australia already, so how is this gonna like continue? Or you're just more focused on production or something?
As I said, that to be honest, no one really cares about us four behind the decks because it's like the musicians who really make the thing unique.
All right.
Like if it's just us four, it's just a back to back, right? It's nothing unique. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm still producing I will still produce for them even though I'm here. And I think if there's like another, for example, like another Asteria level show, I will probably fly back to play with them. But I think all the club shows, they got it. They're more than okay to do it themselves.
Correct. I realize also like done were the days where you're supposed to play a lot of gigs, you know. Because just now we were like previously also discussing what, right or not? Does it even matter that your favorite DJ is playing a live or pre-recorded set?
Yeah.
I would say it matters to me lah, but from far, if I see, I also don't know whether is it real or not, right? Yeah.
It matters to me too. I think it's like just insight for us to be like, if you pre-recorded it or not.
Yeah, but maybe he pre-recorded, we also really don't know what. It's like a CDJ, right, that is like 10 meters away from me, this close, I also cannot see what's happening on the screen.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so with something that kind of like means so little, I think it's not very financially and logically wise to put in so much time into it lah. And personally, I can really relate to this because I spent like 10, 13 years doing turntablism. I'm really so deep into it, right, to realize that everything doesn't matter at all.
It's just
dude, it's
good
so,
enough, decent transition.
It's so bloody
you're
sad.
fine.
Yeah, so I was like talking to one of my guys that you know what, I think the future, right, if people actually want to enjoy DJing, like really know like they pay money and then they never gonna con, right, it's just like a vinyl DJ night lor. That's the only way, right? You can't actually fake that lah. Unless you're some next level lah, you still can fake that, the change vinyl and everything. That's like
and then pretend.
Like lip syncers, lip syncers, So when you were in Australia for like what, 3-4 years?
3 years.
3 years, right? How do you kind of like find your tribe? Because I know it's like difficult, right? To go overseas and like build something.
Yeah. I mean, given that I still had hard vibing here last time, so there was something. But then when I went there, it was completely zero for me. So I do have to thank Lance also because he actually downloaded one of my remixes and then he got in touch with us back then. And then so then from then he's always helped me and like pushed. Then I have another one this other guy called Symmetry. He got me that first show in with No Sleep to support Enderex. And then from there, Lance also helped me push, and then I just kept getting shows from No Sleep from then. So it's just slowly building, but that took about almost a year of nothing in there. So then after that, once I got the first one, it all just came for like 2 years.
So wow. Amazing, yeah. Lance contacted you when he see your remix. Yeah, that is really like community level. The community is like very strong lah. And really they know how to find the right people. And when you left Singapore, what kind of happened to your collective hard vibing? Is it like still active or?
Right now, I think they changed name, and now it's only run by Joru and Havoc right now.
Joru is
Joel.
In Vietnam or something, right?
He's back already.
Oh, he's back already. I remember I was like randomly doing some interview in Vietnam and suddenly he just appeared beside me. Like, hey, I thought you were like in Singapore or something.
He's back.
Yeah. Okay,
so
okay.
It's just, now it's just him and Havoc. They might have a new team, I'm not sure. But because they changed the name. It's not Hard Vibing anymore.
Okay. Yeah. So are you gonna like come back to Singapore and like jumpstart something or just focus more on production now?
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna keep going on my own thing. I don't really plan on starting anything because as it is already, there's a lot of competition with the rest. Yeah.
This comes to my next question. So with so many hardstyle collectives, not only in Singapore but also in the world, what is the way that you what is some things that you can do to stand out?
Honestly, is your production in the hardstyle side. Unless it's not like house, you got James Hype where you can do all that stuff.
Technical a bit.
Yeah, to do it in hardstyle is a bit trickier. It's like,
I guess because the hardstyle track is already so full, right?
Yeah.
And if you add more stuff, it's like all don't match.
Yeah, because like I don't know, like house and techno, there's a lot of space to like layer stuff. So yeah. So it's really about having your unique sound, I feel.
Do you think another way to stand out, right? I just suddenly thought of this, right? Is to have such a strong festival under your belt. I'm actually quite surprised, Ultra Music Festival, right? Headliner after Hardwell, right? 2024, is Excisions, yeah. What? So I was thinking like Excision is like super hard trap, hybrid trap, Redeem and everything, right? It would probably be more like worldwide stage kind of thing. Wouldn't be like main stage. Dude, Excision main stage, man. And honest to God, right? He really never produced any bangers in the year 2024 or 2023 lah.
Yeah.
But he has lost lands.
Yeah.
So probably could that also be a way to step up yourself as an artist?
Could be. I mean, that is something very big.
Like but huge, man, lost land.
Yeah. I mean, if you can fill out lost lands, honestly, you don't even need to play Ultra already.
Yeah, dude, he's not even fill up lost land. He create lost land. He own lost land, bro. That's like next level, bro. Yeah.
That's why I was thinking, like, if you have that Ultra to use, like, okay lah.
Side quest, yeah. But still, Ultra is still a huge.
I mean, it's a very big deal, but yeah. I mean, to have something the size of Lost Lands, it's no difference to you.
Yeah.
It's probably bigger than the main stage. Ultra, I think.
Yeah, I was just thinking, because okay, DJing market is really beyond oversaturation already.
Yeah.
So you're trying to be a better DJ. There's only the ceiling is quite low,
Yeah.
So people go to production, and then production also starting to get oversaturated. Okay, now make your own festival. So I'm just thinking of ways how you can stand out, and rather than like dumping your efforts all into something that you realize 5 years later, oh shit, actually it doesn't matter. It's like
but I think even for like the producing side, like even though there's a lot of people trying to produce now, there's still a lot of gaps between like even the decent ones and the ones who still like copy people and don't have their own sound. Yeah.
And then now with AI, how like that you learn all the production, then some guy just I want to make something like Joseph 24Hz. Oh shit.
I mean, I know the AI thing is gonna kill us, but
man. Yeah, lor. There are like people from Nvidia. I think Jensen Huang was saying that AI is not going to take over us, but you know what's going to take over you? The person that use AI. So if you don't use AI, right, you will definitely lose out lah.
I think you can use it to help to a certain extent, but I still feel it will never be the same as writing it yourself. Like you can just put it through, but I feel it won't be as good as you going through the whole song yourself.
Yeah, correct. And I guess like it kind of brings more value now when you show your project and how you do it. Yeah, then people are like, oh shit, this is like done by this guy. A little bit more sincerity lah, right or not? Yeah.
But at the same time, sometimes people also don't know what's going on, especially if you are not a producer. Anybody can just show the Everton thing like on TikTok and
that
you
is
don't know.
true,
so you don't know if you are not a producer. You also don't know who sample everything and who.
It's like the Fred again, the MIDI controller thing. Yeah, he might be pressing nothing, and everything is like preset.
Wow, that one I believe lah.
I believe James Hype, but there are like 1,000 other people, right? There's like the faceless channel, then only their hand doing. I recreating Skrillex Bangarang. Always standard, Yeah. So really it's about how you get people to trust you lah.
Yeah.
And another thing recently I saw on the internet, right, is that a fan, right, has to stream an artist's track 20 times a day, every single day for 365 days in order for the artist to earn $25.
Yeah.
Yes. So are you just gonna get a day job and do music as a hobby?
Of course. To me, to be able to do music full time, I feel like, because I have a certain level that I set myself, and if I don't reach that, I will never quit my job.
A certain level as in like what?
As in
Like
like-
monthly earnings or something like that?
No, it's like, getting shows, like if you're constantly getting booked and booked and booked, then of course you can earn your money and your songs are like signed everywhere. Or like you keep getting signed. Then to me, that's when like you can be like, okay, I can do this now and put 100% there. If not, then it's just like,
What do you think is a good gauge? Do you think that, like, for example, right, your yearly salary is like 50,000, example, okay? Do you think that you need to earn the same amount as a DJ before you can quit? Or do you think it's like some arbitrary amount?
I mean, because looking at, for example, like Andrex, right? Because he's Australian. So he used to be in Sydney for the longest time. And then I think he started getting a lot of Europe shows. And then I think that's when he was like, yeah, he gotta move. So now he's living in Netherlands, I think. So I feel like only when you reach that level where he's like constantly getting big shows, like, you book DEFCON, all the big festivals, that's when you know your money can
Basically,
cover.
you get booked so much until you don't have enough annual leave. Lah.
Yeah. Then he just
Okay
like,
lah.
I'm done with this.
Yeah. And you are always constantly thinking of like one of the goals or one of the milestones is to get signed. Do you believe that getting signed is better while so many people are trying to go indie? Do you see the trend? The world is actually a lot going indie.
But also if you're doing like self-release, you do need like a good following. If not, you self-release, nobody's gonna listen. Especially if you don't promote it. Because if you get your track signed, at least it's like properly, like to the labels, it's a properly done track because they don't just take any random track anyways.
And they will do the marketing for you and
Yeah.
everything lah.
Yeah.
You don't have to do the marketing yourself that much.
Like you have the extra push, especially if you go on a bigger label. I mean, yeah, it might be saturated, but the push you can get is very, very good.
But are you even worried about the fact that they might potentially be taking 80% of money?
As in, I know they will, but it's a good start. And at least it puts you on the radar of the bigger guys.
Yeah.
Especially if they like your song and they start playing your songs, then that in turn will give you like, maybe get you more shows or get you released again on that label.
Recently, our friend Jax-T, I'm not sure if you know, Jasper, he used to have this event called Modular. It's like a trap-based events. And I think now he's based in San Francisco. And then recently his track is, he released a song that is signed by Will Sparks.
Oh.
Yeah. So what are like some big acts that you would like to sign under their label? Does Randy have a label?
No. Well, I don't think a lot of them have labels, but I have been aiming for one called Gearbox.
Gearbox?
Yeah.
TNT?
No, it's a very raw one.
Oh.
It's not owned by DJs.
Oh.
Yeah. I do have a song signed on the sub-label already. But yeah, I mean, to get to their main label, you need to properly do, it's like, I think it's a full contract thing.
What is the difference between their main label and the sub-label?
Their main label are guys who are signed and like every song they release is auto there. And their sub-label is more of like open to the new talents and all that they will take. And it's like under them still, but it's slightly
like
not
for
the main label.
the newer guys lah.
Yeah.
Okay. And so back in Singapore, planning to do more production. Are you like even exploring genres outside of hard dance, or are you keeping it pure?
I'm keeping pure, but I mean, what I like to do is always kind of take elements from, or even like producing techniques from different genres and put it in. For example, I have one that I'm kind of working on, and I put in like some melodic techno techniques inside. So like, how Anima, that sound like that.
Your rumble.
Yeah, like the synth thing. So I use that kind of technique in that song also.
Yeah.
I feel that's the only way to kind of be like more unique.
I think another one is like you add like D&B inside.
Yeah, but everybody does that now.
Yeah.
Because like in hardstyle, like it's kind of in that tempo. So then the break sometimes is put like D&B in the background.
Right. It's like the counterpart, like hip hop R&B, hardstyle drum and bass, something like that.
Also nice in the verses hardstyle, so it's like a trappy sounding kind of verse, like the beat. So it's like can be house also.
Correct. And how long do you like usually take to finish a track? Do you kind of like set a time limit? Like, dude, I need to like pump out certain number per year.
I don't really set a time, but I feel for tracks it depends also whether how much I can like flow with it, especially for like a remix, so to say.
Yep.
There are some remixes where I can get the whole thing out in 2 days, like the full structure. Sometimes it takes a month. I don't know. Yeah. And then originals obviously take a bit longer. But yeah, it just depends on how many ideas I can get.
Right. So what I'm seeing here is like music monetization is probably not something that you're considering. You're just trying to get your music out there to as many ears as possible, and then you earn money via DJ bookings, DJ shows. Right.
And then of course, I mean, because all of that, as your music spreads, then obviously you get more people listening on your Spotify, SoundCloud, and then probably your name gets bigger and you get more bookings. So it's a long road, but yeah.
And if you look at like successful examples like Maddox, Hardwell, and everybody, right? The moment they big, right, then they start to do their own sample pack. They start to do their own like plugins and all that kind of like Hardwell space control and everything. Yeah. Do you think that doing that, right, kind of niches you down and kind of like reduces your fan base in a way?
I don't think so. I mean, it's like they are in a way helping the producers who want to be like them. Or for example, there can be very like versatile plugins like Nicky Romero's the Kickstarted.
Oh my god! Everybody uses it till now.
It doesn't matter what genre you're in, you can do it. But I mean, okay, like Maddox plugin seems to be a bit more
specialized
to his, but I'm pretty sure like even the hardstyle side can use it if we try. Like even Hardwell's thing to an extent.
And another risk that musicians kind of face, right, is that I am quite lucky to know someone that knows Maddox pretty well, and then I got some like gist of like what his thought process is like, and also based on his releases, because he was like Big Room, signed to Reveal, and then eventually he becomes like the Hardwell +1, and then now he's like trailing off already. He's no longer doing that Big Room techno. He's doing more driving techno. He wants to be more and more pure and I feel like in that way, right, he kind of also like become more niche, more underground, and his fan base also start to like be more specialized. I don't know if it shrinks, so I don't know, for yourself, would you like consider yourself more of like a main stage hardstyle or?
I wouldn't say mine is fully main stage. It's definitely on the more raw side. Yeah, so it's not like your Datuikas or whatever. But I mean, because my my inspiration since the start was Headhunters. So I always had that melodic side, but now I still really like the very like the raw kicks, the very hard ones. So I always try to implement both sides into a track. So as much as I can, I always want to have a very nice melody, but then if I can switch it out like in the first drop or like the last drop to give it something different. Yeah.
Like people can expect more lah. Not like you make one drop and copy paste 3 times,
Yeah.
And Headhunters, he himself also has quite a few directional changes. Right?
Yeah.
Are you like a fan all the way through?
I think I've liked almost every one of his songs. I don't think there's a song that I really didn't like.
Yeah, but like the common consensus among the hardstyle community, right? Whenever he changed the direction kind of thing. Yeah, but what would you say to like his directional changes? Would you say that it's like wise? It was the right thing to do at that particular time?
I feel yes, because now like Raw is getting more and more famous and like popular. So for him to head to the slightly harder direction is also good. But then I guess he has some tracks also which bring back his old style, and which is sometimes refreshing after hearing like everyone else doing Raw.
Right.
Yeah.
Is it like Church? One of the songs?
Our Church.
Our Church, right.
That's one of his big songs, I think, with Sub-Zero Project.
Yeah. Wow, that was like super epic. I still remember back in the day when like hardstyle was just like starting to get popular in Singapore. Yeah, and then we hear a lot of it in like Main Room.
I think that was his Return album. One of his songs on the
after his 128 era, right?
After he went
his 128 era. Yeah,
that was not bad also actually.
Okay, and so right now, moving back to Singapore, are you like pursuing quite a high demand day job or something like that?
Now I'm still looking for a job because I only just came back
In like what field?
last week, 2 weeks ago. I'm applying to
Like some computer science?
everywhere. No lah, because I did my major was physiology, so I'm looking, and it's very like, because it's a science degree, so it's quite general. So I can look for things even in corporate or stick with science and medical side if I want. So I'm applying everywhere. See what I get.
Yeah, I think one very important thing, like even I now start to do a day job, is that how much time I can get to do my DJing stuff. Because at the end of the day, if the dream is to make this your full time, you really have to spend enough hours to make this work. If not, I don't know how it can become full time, man, with so many people being so competitive, right? Yeah, so other than Australia, where else can you kind of like look forward to pursuing a hardstyle career?
The motherland, Netherlands.
Or
That's
Netherlands.
the only.
So it's Australia and Netherlands only lah.
Netherlands is where all the EDM is. What?
Okay.
So Australia, I'd say, is the second to like Europe, basically. Yeah, because nowhere else in Asia does it the same. Yeah. And Australia, I think, is a very good like helping hand, especially if you wanna reach there. Cause they, as of now, they also have so many big festivals like Knockout and all the other clubs and events that do hardstyle there, and always is international DJs that come and headline. So let's say if they are there and they happen to hear your song, then that could be your ticket to going bigger.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you see like hardstyle music being being jumpstart in US? Or it's still relatively
US,
small?
I think it's growing. There's a few US producers that are actually signed on labels. So I think it's growing there. Probably
so US hardstyle DJs like who's that?
Yeah, I think there's one called there's this trio called Kami, and then Soren's another one. I think mainly those. Oh, Lil Texas also.
Oh yes, of course, Lil Texas. Oh my god, he's the only person that actually replies Instagram DM, man. Crazy.
Yeah. So I don't know. To me, I think it's only the three of them that I can think of right now.
Yeah.
And
Lil Texas first came into my peripheral, right? I'm clearly not a hardstyle DJ, but it's when Skrillex closed out one of the shows with a 200 BPM song. I'm like, what the fuck is this? So epic, you know? Back in the day, when he was still fresh, and then now it's like everybody's just copying Lil Texas, so many versions of, right? Yeah. And was Defcon originally from Netherlands? Yeah. And then they have like a franchise in Australia or something.
They used to, no more already.
Oh no. Yeah, why no more?
2017 was the last one.
Is it because like not good reception?
No, I think too many OD.
Oh.
It's a drug thing. So I think they kicked Q-Dance out. So now
they kicked Q-Dance.
As in they didn't let Defcon come back.
As in like
the government didn't.
So what's Q-Dance?
Q-Dance is a events thing in Netherlands.
So Q-Dance owns Defcon.
Yeah, effectively. They run like Defcon and Climax, all those big ones there.
Okay. Yeah. So do you think that this kind of like consumables play a huge role in helping people enjoy this?
I mean, definitely in Australia,
more strict
events. No, like they still take. Like I don't know. Some people say it helps. I cannot say it does.
We cannot relate because
I cannot
we
say
love the music. Yeah, right.
But I know people there who actually really love the music too, and they feel like it's a helping hand. Like, you know, if you just like, I don't know, if they take like one, it might help them. They're still okay, but
what I've heard is they can see the song. Like the music, right? The emotion. You can see the emotion. Like,
I feel like in Australia, you can always see those who've had, I guess, too much.
Yeah.
When you see them start stoning and they're wearing the sunglasses, because the lasers will start to make the
trip the fuck out, basically.
Yeah.
Fuck, man, this is a Singapore podcast, dude. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So, what a waste, man. So Defcon no more in Australia. So all those people with Insta story on Defcon is all in Netherlands.
Yeah. That's the most recent DEFCON. It's the Netherlands one.
Oh, then in Australia, what is the biggest hard dance?
So we
festival
have
now?
one called like there's this organizer called HSU now.
HSU.
And yeah, so they run the biggest one now.
What's the attendance like? 10,000?
70,000.
70? What the fuck?
Last year
One day.
Yeah, one day event. I went last year. The last 2 years I went. It's called Knockout
man?
in Sydney. They have 3 stages. Their main stage is a whole football stadium. Imagine Singapore Stadium. That is one stage. That's their main
So
stage.
basically, for those of you, right, they don't have context what 70,000 fucking looks like, right? Zook out, right? The whole arena can put 40,000 people. So it's like 2 of that, like, whoa! It's like
and it's split among,
bloody huge.
Split among 3 stages.
It's like hardstyle, like the Australian national anthem. Like, if you're a
They
house
always
music
like to
producer,
say- they always like to say, yes, it is.
right. So if you're a house music producer, then you just cannot really lah.
I'd say it's not even just hardstyle. Like if you do trance there or techno, those 3 are the very big in Australia.
Hey, but you know the other time, right? It's just a random ass story, right? I was like tour manager for Emma Hewitt. It's fucking random, right? Like one of my friends cannot make it, and just say, hey, can you help me stand in? Then I'm basically the helper for the day, lah. And then I heard quite a lot of stories from her, man, because she's originally Australian, right? And then she moved to Miami, right? Because she wants to do like melodic, progressive trance, all that kind of thing, right? Cannot once, yeah. Then he said even now, like her compatriots, all this Marlo or whatever, right? They start to hammer already. Start to change to like harder styles of trance. So Australia don't really give you room if you want to like tell a story, a journey. They just want to be hammered, you know?
I still think that is Europe. Like if you want to tell a story, trance is very Europe. As you were saying, Marlo's going harder. He has a new hardstyle.
Then the next week coming to Marquee one is what?
Marquee?
Next week there's this trance shit.
Ben Nicky.
Ben Nicky, right?
I saw
Ben Nicky
Ben
also
Nicky
banging
before,
one, right? Yeah.
Ben Nicky got booked by HSU a few times. I watched him. He has his extreme. He calls it extreme. It's a full hardstyle set. But I saw him in Marquee before. He played a good mix of trance, techno, and hardstyle all together. So yeah, very versatile set, I'd say.
Even Andrew Rea also start to whack already, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
make his set harder.
I watched him in Ultra Melbourne 2 years ago. When he came. He closed with a Datika's remix of one of his songs.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't remember which song, but yeah.
Yeah, mad.
Everyone's going harder.
It's crazy. So with DEFCON being in Europe, right? One thing that I'm very curious about, right, is are people sick and tired of left, right?
Probably. Yeah. But
really? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, like, when I think about this question, right, I'm like, the hardstyle community were offended, no? Because
but it
just
just
pledge,
seems,
you know.
Yeah, it just seems like a thing that, you know, they do once a year.
Yeah, like, yo, everybody. What? How big is DEFCON? It's like 100,000 or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It's quite big.
It's basically like Saruman's army, basically.
I think their main stage, the main red stage, is 70,000.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I think I saw that somewhere. It was.
So that's like some Tomorrowland level.
Tomorrowland is bigger. Their main stage is 100 something.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember seeing that somewhere.
But yeah, that's huge lah. And then I guess it's like a sense of familiarity, lor. Hey, everybody come back, you know.
Yeah. Because it's only once a year, and it's during the power hour, like that very fun set.
But when you talk about DEFCON, there's actually 2 key moments, right? Power hour is definitely one of them. Another one is like some display of firepower.
It's the closing, so it's
like lighting
time
show.
coded. Yeah, everything's time coded. There's no DJ. But yeah, so they pick songs and do it.
So they play the biggest hits of the year lah. Then synchronize it to the fireworks.
Not
or
really
whatever.
the biggest hits. It's like maybe sometimes the biggest hits, or sometimes they have people do songs specifically like for that. So they call it like the closing theme. And then from my friends who've been to DEFCON, they said the first day also is something very exciting, because like everybody's just like, you know, rushing in and everyone's so happy to be there. So yeah.
DEFCON is how many days? Like
4
days.
Yeah.
It's like a what?
Thursday to Sunday.
Okay. One weekend only lah.
1 weekend.
Okay. So the power hour is day 4.
Saturday.
Day 3.
three,
Then
I
4th day is the lighting show thing.
Yeah. I think every day there's a kind of something closing at the end, but that full lighting one is on Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who is the biggest hardstyle act now? Or is it subjective?
Subjective.
Who's the biggest hardstyle act in your heart then?
Subjective.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, I always like Headhunters,
Yeah.
but he's stopped performing.
Oh,
Yeah.
is it like a Hardwell hiatus 5 years type thing? Maybe.
Who knows?
But so far, how long already? Like,
Just only.
just only.
Only recent. I think half a year only.
Right. Because he did one big move, right?
Yeah.
I will stop competing in the DJing Top 100 or something like that, right?
Last time I saw him was the knockout last year
Mm.
in October.
Mm.
Then after that, I think he said the end of the year, he finished his booking, then he stopped. So it's only half a year now.
But still producing.
He said he produced, he's just not going to play.
Mm.
But he said he might be back for a big show, so
Yeah.
don't know when.
Yeah, I guess like when you're a big act and then you're missing for a while, right? Wow, your value kind of increase. And then you can be like Hardwell, right? When Hardwell resurfaced, right? He played a full set, all ID, no track title.
Yeah.
I still remember when it premiered, man, I died, man.
So I was watching that also, the Ultra.
I fucking died. When I scroll the track title ID by ID by ID by ID by ID by ID.
I wasn't expecting him to go like that. In my head he was either gonna stay big room or go hardstyle already, but
he invented a new thing.
yeah,
Man.
he wasn't in the
Kill. So Hardwell, is he like respected in the hard dance scene, or he's not really considered hard dance?
I think so. His few songs. He had one song in the
Radical Redemption or something like that, right?
No, Sub-Zero.
Sub-Zero.
Yeah. He did one. It was a solo track last time in 2017. It was in the closing show of DEFCON. One of his tracks were there. And then he has a few hardstyle collabs, and I know he always plays at the end of his shows.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of the hardstyle people just keep saying, I might as well just join the hardstyle
just
side.
All the way
just move, yeah.
But no I think he still needs his 128 It's his thing it's his baby.
I mean, he was one of my first DJing and EDM inspiration. Him and Martin Garrix started me off.
And the longevity, man, is amazing. Like he just made all the right moves along the way. Yeah. So before we close this off, do you have like any last things that you want to like shout out? What's your next project?
You can follow me on Instagram. And,
we're linking everything there already.
Yeah, and also I have a song with Colin Hennis that might be coming out soon.
He played Drip or something, right?
He's coming this week.
Nice.
Yeah, so we have a song together. Hopefully it's releasing soon.
Wow, huge.
Yeah. And then that's all.
Okay, thank you so much.